Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome back to the season 2 premiere of Finding Carter here on AfterBuzz. If you have not already, make sure that you've subscribed on youtube.com/AfterBuzz. Also, guys, we are on SoundCloud and iTunes. Subscribe there as well. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me during the show at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel. With me, as always, Kristin Strange.
Hello, guys. You can tweet me at Kristin Strange.
Hannah Prichard.
Hey, guys, and you can tweet at me at the Hotshot Dude.
Also, tweet at Kylie at the Kylie Hodges for not being here and give her some hate. Please.
Dang you, Kylie.
Yeah, it is the season premiere. We got so many answers. We also got a lot of questions. We got so many answers.
I was impressed.
Yeah, me too. I did not expect anything.
Really?
I feel like all shows need to take note of this because they like to drag us along and be like, when we give you answers, then you're not invested. But I'm still invested, but you gave me answers, so I'm not pissed off now.
I expected all the answers.
We only got a few.
Yeah, right?
I feel like I got more than I expected, and I was happy about it.
I think we're all used to the Pretty Little Liars way, where they're like, here's an answer.
Just
oh,
kidding.
No, that's not the right answer.
Let's not bring it back up, okay?
We're still raw about it.
Yes.
But what I appreciate is that this show gave us answers and then gave us
Brought
more
up
questions. But the more questions aren't negating the answers we already got.
Right? Like, take note.
Yeah. Come on, PLL, take notes. Okay, so we pick up right where we left off. Carter's waking up. The main question that everyone is asking is, who the F is Lori on the phone with? Go. Theories.
Well, I actually thought it was Joss Whedon. I can't say his name.
You thought it was the producer of the show?
No.
You thought it was Joss Whedon who produced
No.
and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No. What's his real name?
Who are you talking about?
Daddy.
David?
David.
I really thought it was David.
Oh, you think his name is Joss Whedon?
Yeah. That's why I was asking you.
No, Joss Whedon's the guy who made Buffy.
The reason you
Okay,
think
well
that,
then what's David's real name? Isn't it something like that?
No,
It's Allison Hannigan's husband.
Yeah, it's Alexis.
Mr. Allison.
It's Alexis Denisof.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you all making that up?
No. Girl.
I don't believe you. I'm about to pull up IMDb right now because
Pull it up.
I won't do it right now,
Right.
but I want to.
Fill in the booth. Pull it up on IMDb for us.
Double check. I feel like they're lying to me completely.
Wrong.
But I thought it was him.
So you thought it was David.
Yeah.
I thought that I think it's someone we haven't met yet.
Okay. I think it's Crash.
You know what I was going to
You
say
are
that, but
crazy.
Why
would it be Crash?
Okay, thank you. Great question. Because Crash was the only one who was like, you should get back to your mom. And so I think Lori went and found him, was like, come help him, whatever.
No. What was she even saying to him on the phone? Because I wasn't really paying attention to it because I thought it was so creepy that they were blurring the outsides.
Well, because she was coming out
I know, but I didn't like it. I don't need the outsides blurred. I can tell that she's coming out of it. I don't need to see it.
You all are all wrong. She was talking about still like a secret. Mm-hmm. She was like, well, it had to come to light or they were going to find out eventually or they need to find out or whatnot. Yeah. She has no secrets to Crash or with Crash. Why would she
probably told him and then he was getting concerned because, maybe he's kind of a nice person a little bit. And then she was saying, hey, they're going to find out eventually.
Yeah.
No way.
And?
What's the question again? I have IMDb up.
Okay. Alexis Denisof, what's his name?
Alexis, that's Alexis Denisof. No.
As the character.
David.
What is David's?
David Wilson.
What's his real name?
Alexis Denisof.
Dang it! You guys, I'm not kidding you. Back since like Buffy, I always thought his name
To be fair,
or something along that lines. How did I get my wires crossed like that?
To be fair, last season I didn't know that he wasn't actually British because of Buffy.
Well, nobody knew he wasn't British because of Buffy.
I still didn't know that.
He's not British. He's American. I know.
Ladies. Can we get back to who was on the phone?
I am learning so many things about this man I always thought I loved and adored, and really I knew nothing about. That's embarrassing.
And that is why David's mine. Okay.
Fine.
I liked him better when he was British.
Yeah, everybody does. So, all right, I want to talk about Elizabeth getting kicked off reasonably being kicked off the case because she's Carter's mom.
That was how was she on it in the first place?
Yeah.
Was that just overlooked? You're leading the case for your daughter as a cop. Yeah, you'll just keep going.
Yeah, that's something we've been saying since last season.
I guess that's true, but I feel like there's no way for her to not slightly be a part since she is working within the field and she is her mother.
The mother. But
but she's still like working in those offices, so she has some sort of like say or push. You know what I mean?
No.
And she's sleeping with Kyle, and Kyle's still in the
exactly.
case,
so on any Law and Order show, she would be benched and put on desk duty through she would have spent the last 13 years on desk duty, and that's why she would have ended up with Kyle. Like, that's how it would have played out. Unfortunately, this police department was like, no, you can keep working.
We don't see a problem.
Yeah. This isn't a conflict of interest.
No, not at all.
Okay. And we meet this FBI guy.
He was...
Yes?
He was attractive. Are
That's
you going to say that?
Gonna
because
say,
he was attractive.
You want to say he's a D.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very attractive
but
D.
if you guys think that Elizabeth shouldn't be on the case, then he is maybe the only reasonable person because he benched her.
I didn't say
Absolutely.
he was not reasonable.
No, he was
I just said
like
he was a D.
He was a little bit.
No.
I didn't even dislike him because I thought he was attractive and slightly had his head on right.
I wasn't really into him.
Both of you. I'm on both your sides. Yeah, he was being kind of a D. He's really hot. I like everything about him. All right, so let's talk about this text selfie that is texted to Taylor.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Carter's crying and upset, and she's like, no, we'll just
her
take
mom's
this
like, selfie!
Right? She's like, show me you're okay. I'm like, she doesn't look okay in that photo.
Right?
That's not a good representation of her being okay.
But at least Taylor does the smart thing.
Yes.
And, oh my God, I was so frustrated when she shows it to, or talks to the family about it, and Elizabeth is like, we don't need to involve the police. Girl.
It doesn't...
Woman.
That's how they got themselves into this mess when they didn't involve the police the last time she tried to show up.
So
and then she just got taken.
Yeah.
This is true.
These things
but
happen.
She's bitter. They just kicked her off the force, or the case, or
benched
her.
Because they should have.
No, I know, but she's still bitter.
Yeah, we've said it before on this show that she's not the most responsible adult.
No, and she's not the most reasonable person either. She's driven by emotion, which I get.
Which is what you want in a police officer.
Right?
Yeah,
right? That's what you want, defending you and keeping you safe. All right, I want to take a moment to talk about tax or mailer.
Tax. That's the worst.
I'm sorry. Everybody else, I think, is pro mailer, and I think tax is so much better.
I like tax.
But I'm not really sure what you're talking about then. If you say, hey, can we talk about tax? That leaves up a lot of options for me.
Why would I ever want to talk to you about taxes?
I don't know.
Okay. So Taylor and Max. Last season they broke up. We already started this season. They got back together.
In a matter of the first 5 minutes.
I don't care.
It was really we should break up. You know what? We should get back together.
Mind.
I was telling my roommate as I was watching this, if every time I tried to get back together with somebody it went that easy, I would have no problem.
Oh my gosh, true statement.
If it was just I think we should get back together, and then he was like, you know what, I completely agree, and then we hugged.
I know we're broken up, but why don't we get back together? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
which, granted, I love them together. I want them to be back together. But, they just broke up, and he just, changed his mind, and she doesn't ask any questions. She's just like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, if somebody dumped me, and then a couple days later wanted to get back together.
I believe we're still on the same day.
Right.
I'm pretty
Within
sure.
24 hours.
Oh my gosh, it is the same day, isn't it?
Yeah. I believe it's,
jokes.
Yeah, it's definitely within 24 hours.
He's like, I misspoke less than 24 hours ago.
And she made it public. Like, she said to everybody, I know we're broken up. And then, like, 2 seconds later, she gets back together with him. I'm like, girl, that's just shameful. That's just embarrassing. Wouldn't do it. I'd have to put up a fight just for at least for 48 hours just to be like, well, God, yeah, he dumped me. He dumped me.
You gotta work for it now. You want to get back together? You show me you deserve to be with me now.
You two are adorable. I was really uncomfortable with her announcing this to them and them feeling like it was, everybody else feeling like it was their place.
It was all bizarre.
Bird was all, what? Let's fix this. Bird, you shut your mouth.
I was like, Bird, stay out of it.
I'm still holding a grudge from when Bird accused Carter.
Right.
Can we please remember that?
I know.
Yes.
I was like, why are you even here?
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah.
Go back to your empty house with all your jewelry that you're going to accuse your friends of stealing.
Which, like, I liked Bird up until that moment. And I still do like Bird. I want to like her completely, but I don't feel like she has still been given enough, like, punishment or cold
Bird's
shoulder.
Art?
Yes, I do.
I don't even want to like her anymore. I don't dislike her.
I still want
but
to
I
like
don't
her.
have any interest. I just like, it's like average Bird.
She's part of the gang, though, so they either have to make her an enemy or they have to find a way for us to like her again.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to have forgiven her, and I really have not.
I don't have enough reason to. She needs to do more.
Oh, good.
She does.
I have not forgiven her.
This is the problem when adults watch a teenager show. Is where
But I eat it up so much.
I know.
I feel like they're dealing with adult problems like kidnapping and stuff.
No, they definitely are dealing with adult problems.
Adult problems because everybody's getting kidnapped.
I mean, they're dealing with mature problems
Yeah.
for sure, things that children shouldn't have to worry about.
Yeah.
But they're all dealing with it like children, including the adults.
Parents, yeah.
Speaking of
That's
adult
teen
problems,
soap operas for you.
Yes, seriously. And we're so invested. Guys, we're clearly invested. We hope you are too. We ask you guys to do a very simple thing for us. Go on to iTunes, rate and review this show. That's right, if you like us, which you should if you came back for a second season. Because we love this show, and we love you guys. If you like us, give us 5 stars and write a review. We want words that you like. And this season, we will be giving shout-outs to people who write reviews.
Yeah, we will.
That's a thing we're doing now. And if you don't like us, I don't know why you're still here, but give us 4 stars and a comment onto why you don't like us.
Tell us how we can improve. We take constructive criticism.
Yeah, or just hate.
Yeah, either way, we'll take it. That's what we want. And you'll get a shout-out on the air as well. Yeah.
I'm going to read the bad ones.
Okay, that's a thing we're going to do here. All right, let's get back to this. So, because we get to the diner, which is the big reveal scene. Most of the episode takes place.
It didn't really look like a diner, though. It was not a great diner set.
It wasn't, no.
It was like, here's a lodge.
So, I feel like it was one of those diners, like connected to a hotel, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Like a road stop diner is what it looked like.
Not like a classy.
I don't know.
or
When
diner.
you say diner, I just think 50s, and no one was on roller skates.
No, it's not that kind of diner. It's not that kind of diner.
Clearly.
I think of Waffle House when I think diner. Mama goes.
That sounds good, waffles.
All right, guys, calm down. So we're in this restaurant, so if we're going to complain and hate on this restaurant, the hostess's apron was to her ankles. A hostess, 1, doesn't wear an apron, and 2, doesn't wear a white apron that goes down to her ankles.
I'm going to
And
have to go back
also,
and watch.
The waitress didn't come up once.
Yeah,
No.
No one came to take their order.
What was that?
It was like they're sitting with their menus.
Yeah.
No one go take their order.
They didn't get
They had to be there for
water.
at least like 30
Yeah.
minutes.
No waters, no silverware.
No.
Just menus. Best restaurant ever, guys.
Whatever, but they were ready to call 911 when needed, okay?
Yeah.
So the patrons showed up.
That's true. Fair point. Okay, so we're in this diner, and here's what I love, is when Taylor's going, Elizabeth is smart enough to be like, you're not going alone. And not only that, but we have David and Kyle in the car together.
Together.
I literally laughed out loud when that happened.
I wanted more of like tension though in that car. I didn't feel like there was enough of it for me.
I would have loved to see them try and make small talk.
Me too.
That would've been
That's
great.
what I wanted.
Guys, they were in the middle of a horrific thing.
I don't care.
I know,
I wanted
but-
like a little comment, like a little jab or something.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what I wanted?
Well, okay.
Something else completely.
Shirtlessness.
to be in that car. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I was like, pause all the filming.
Yeah.
Let me just get in the back and come see us later.
Whew, I'd love to be in that car. No? Just me?
I would like to. Oh, I would.
Back off.
I know. See, I can't even want to be in the car.
Correct. That is correct. You cannot. They're mine.
I got my eye on someone
I'll
else.
sit outside the car.
Yeah, you can watch from
We
outside.
obviously need to get some new eye candy for me because
Yeah.
everyone's taken.
Yep.
You can have Ophi.
You can have Gabe.
I want Gabe. I like Gabe.
There you
Oh,
go.
poor Kylie.
Or you can have Armadillo.
Oh, I want the armadillo.
Who doesn't want armadillo?
He's
Anyway.
so cute.
I just want him as like a puppy though.
Right, that's what we meant.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. He's a child. Okay. Let's talk about the big reveal. So Lori is the egg donor. Okay. That was mind-blowing and huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of fans called it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The big question that everyone has come up with on Twitter, and I wish I would have written down everyone's names who tweeted at me, was Grant?
That was my question too.
Yeah.
And I know that last season we heard them say, what's his name, David, was like, and then you got pregnant. And it was like, well.
Wait.
I don't know. They led us to believe in the first season that David and Elizabeth are still together because she got pregnant. But obviously they were trying. So maybe they were thinking of splitting up. But I don't think that was really clear when they originally.
It was a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that was my question too. I think that Grant has to be egg donated too.
not necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
Unless they just kept trying.
So somebody had tweeted about how usually people who try, once they stop trying, it just happens.
Right.
Their body is less stressed. And I think that that's what we call an oopsie baby. But also,
Or a miracle.
that's also something people call them. But also, interesting fun fact, maybe spoiler, maybe getting Zach Pullman in trouble. Zach Pullman, the actor who plays Grant, tweeted.
Oh my god, we can't get him in trouble.
He tweeted, "Calm down, Grant is David and Elizabeth's baby." That tweet has since been deleted.
Oh.
So either he tweeted that because that's the
Not
truth,
knowing.
and then they got mad at him and were like, "Don't ruin it
You need
for
to take
people to
that
take that down," or he tweeted that because he believes that is the case, and that may not be the case.
He's got to know by now. They're into filming enough. He has to
They're
know.
still filming. There's no way to know for sure.
Right, but I feel like I'm surprised those girls didn't ask in this episode. They're going to have to ask soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
especially with how angry Taylor is right now
Yeah.
with it. I feel like she's going to have questions
Yeah.
about it all.
So, all right, we have this amazing. My favorite quotes from the episode is because I watched this episode 3 times. So every time Lori said, "I have rights," I shouted instinctively at my TV, "No, you don't."
Why does she think she does?
So she
Crazy.
said, "Maybe not in the eyes of the law."
Right?
Right.
That's where your rights are.
She's like, I have rights in being a human being. You're right. You have human rights. You don't have rights over your eggs that you just gave. You
So-
sold them.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's my dog. No, you sold it.
So let's talk about this because it's
Yes.
a really difficult and slippery slope conversation that I definitely want to have. And I want to, before we start it, make it clear to anyone we're talking about this show. We are not being, we're trying not to be insensitive. We apologize if we offend anybody. But last season, somebody had asked us that question about, what is the show about adoption, blah, blah, blah. How do we feel this relates to it and compares to it? But I think that now we have a more solid conversation that we can have. So Taylor, I get, okay? I always believe it doesn't matter who gave birth to you, whose egg you are. The person who raised you,
Right.
that is your parent.
Right.
With Carter, I could see how she would be a little more confused.
Well, yeah. Carter, not
Because her
only,
biological mom raised her.
she was raised by the egg donor.
But see, that's the thing, which maybe I need to go take a biology class again and just don't fully understand. But to me, there is, like, biologically, aren't they both her mom? Like, yes, the egg comes from Lori.
But she grew inside Elizabeth.
Yeah, she grew inside Elizabeth. It was still her womb that, like, nurtured her and you know what I mean?
Right.
So isn't there
I mean,
level?
genetically, Lori is her mother. So she shares Lori's, like, DNA.
Yeah.
And she gets her she gets her genetic makeup from Lori. But yeah, Elizabeth, that's tricky. But
like, I can understand why Lori would always be curious about the girls or whatnot.
Yeah.
But when you give an egg, you sell it.
Exactly.
Like, she sold that. She didn't do a motherly thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She literally sold an egg for money.
That's why I feel like she doesn't have any claim over it, because it's when it was in her, it wasn't even a fertilized egg. It's literally a collection of cells.
Yeah.
She's just a selfish human.
Yeah, it was a collection. It was a collection of cells that then became an embryo in a platter.
Yes.
So it wasn't even a baby until I was outside of, or an embryo until it was outside of her, and then it wasn't even a fetus until it was inside of Elizabeth. So that's really complicated.
Thank you, biology.
Well, my friend actually donated her eggs at one point, and like, I wouldn't tell her if she came to me and she was like, it resulted in a baby and I feel like I have rights. I would be like, no.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Like, it's understandable to be curious, like, want to
Right.
know what, you know what I mean, want to know about that human, but it's not like
You sold it. And
and you never even carried it. It's
Yeah.
like even different than adoption.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's a completely different situation than you're carrying
that would be
a baby
like
for
a
9
sperm
months.
donor coming back and being like, "That is my baby." No, stop.
Yeah.
Excellent points all around, both of you.
We're heated about it. Clearly, I've got so many thoughts.
And you should be.
Yeah.
This is a serious and crazy discussion. I'm really glad we have it.
And that's not fair for. That's not fair to the family. Like, she did a great thing. Lori originally did a great thing by donating her eggs. It's not an easy process, and that was a really nice thing to do, because like, Elizabeth can't have kids, and there's a million people out there who need that. So it's a really great thing to do for somebody. It's just not great to kidnap them after.
Thanks.
Right?
We weren't sure.
I feel like a lot of motives will come clear once we find out her relationship with David, and if there was a relationship with David prior to her being an egg donor, or if it started after her being an egg donor.
Well, I think no matter what the situation
It's
is,
still-
she's crazy
it's still
now.
messed up.
She seems crazy.
I feel like there's got to be something even more, regardless of whatever may or may not have happened with her and David. I feel like there has to be something else, because otherwise, why would you donate your egg? Be like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm okay with this. This is something I'm doing. I've made money on it, and I'm now happy we've made this trade that is fair, and everyone's happy. But now something's different. What is it that happened?
Right.
What changed?
You know what? That's a prediction.
I know. I was going to say, this is what making me want to predict. I can't do it.
We will get there. Hold it.
Well, then we're just going to have to change the conversation.
Yeah. I can't talk anymore then.
Okay.
I think we had the same prediction though.
Let's talk about the kick-ass fight.
That was great.
It was, first off, Carter separates the gun, takes it apart, and moves it away from them.
Which I would never know how to do.
I was impressed by that. She's like,
yeah, right?
I was impressed, first off, that she got it out of Laura's pocket and it didn't go off. That I could not believe
because she
happened.
kind of stumbled it out.
And we know how guns tend to just go off.
Yeah, apparently.
Accidentally in this show.
And not only she got the gun away, but like in most fight sequences, the gun is always just slightly out of reach.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, Carter took it far away,
it.
took it apart, and put it on top of something.
Did Lori think that was a good? She had a good shot. I mean, even if only Taylor had come, there's 2 of them and 1 of you.
But she's not going to shoot her daughters.
Right? So how did she think that they weren't going to get away?
I feel like Lori's just slightly delusional.
I think
so
obviously.
seriously delusional that she would even think that Taylor would just willingly go with her anyways.
Right?
That she would tell
She's
her
like,
and Taylor would be
I'm
like,
your mom.
okay.
Let's go.
I now have a prediction. Damn you both. Okay.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
But there's so much more to talk about.
We can predict as we go through each one.
Okay.
We can predict situations.
All right, let's talk about the egg donor then predict.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
I think that Lori originally did this great thing. She gave up her daughter, she gave the eggs up for donation, and then thinking, I'll make some money, and then I'm going to have my own family one day, and I'm not even going to think about it, because, I don't really think about my eggs as something like my family.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I'm shocked.
I mean, you release one every month.
Yep,
It's like,
correct.
why? Anyways.
Moving on.
Too biological. Anyways, I think then she had a miscarriage or something, and so it was, or maybe she had a miscarriage, and then it was like, now you can't have kids, and she's like, I should go get those other ones. I should go get those other ones that I.
No, this is not what I think.
Go. That's
Okay.
what I think.
So I think that David was having an affair with Lori when him and Elizabeth were together.
Okay.
But he still wanted to be with Lori, and with Elizabeth, and he made some sort of deal with Lori that was like, hey, listen, donate to my wife. We can continue to be together. It'll also be your child, etc. And then had twins, and there was some sort of deal. I think that David may have known that she was going to take one of the twins.
Wow.
That's creepy.
Yeah. That is creepy.
No, he would be the most awful father ever.
But I think he may.
He could totally...
Because look, then he had a book deal.
Yeah, no, he's very much... I feel like he's super manipulative.
Which granted, I love him. I really do.
No, yeah.
No matter what he does, I still
He's
like
always
him,
got me
which
on
is
the
awful.
line of whether I like him or I don't or
Right?
I do. It's like
he disappoints me.
Yeah.
But I never dislike him.
Yeah.
I like him.
It's unfortunate, but
I like
it's
him
true.
a lot. You just got to put him on mute.
But I think that's what's going to happen. I think him and Lori totally, no matter what, I think they had a relationship.
So
maybe.
We hear Lori say to Elizabeth, he did a number on us both. What do you think that means?
That's what I think it means.
Okay. Anything?
Yeah,
I don't even have to explain. I'm right, guys.
Sure.
Do we know what he did for a living before?
He was a writer.
Right. Right.
He
Yeah.
wrote a book.
I don't know.
Was he like why do I
Now
feel like
he's
he
a
was
professor.
now he's a professor.
Right. 'Cause
Now he's a professor.
for some reason, I was like, well, maybe he was a professor.
Well, don't we
and
remember last season where he got the job and
yeah.
none of us believed that he got
Right.
the job?
I think I don't know about that, their relationship. That could go a million different ways.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't go as easy as they had an affair, and I hope
think that's what happened.
it gets a lot more in depth than that. Like, oh, we had an affair.
Well, I feel like then that gives Lori some sort of redeeming quality or like some motive. No, it doesn't.
No.
Like it doesn't. But I feel like it gives some motive for them to continue fueling her character on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if they go ahead and go with some crazy scenario where Lori's just this head case, then it kind of, to some degree, it just becomes an obnoxious character.
Well, I mean, if it is that it goes into this, that there was this crazy story that he made her promises and that she really believed him, whatever, then she's less of a crazy head case.
Exactly. And they
Because,
can work her into the storyline, I feel
Right.
like, throughout.
So,
but then that makes it so much. I don't know. I just don't want it to be more complicated for Carter than it already is.
well,
I mean,
it will. It will.
me neither,
and
but
she makes it the worst.
Yeah.
King Carter.
King Carter.
Okay, when we get
I forgot
Kat,
about-
we're bringing her
I
again.
love
I
her so
forgot
much,
about
though.
King
It's-
Carter.
Yeah.
Why do y'all say King Carter?
Because when she's in the house, she
It was
rules
like,
the
yeah,
house.
Carter
Oh,
rules
she
all.
absolutely
She
does.
told David last season, she said, you have to tell her or I will tell her.
will.
Yeah, you have
like
to tell
Carter
her. You have
wants,
to do this.
Carter
you guys have to let her
gets.
back in. You have to get back
True
together.
statement. Well, she does rule the house.
King Carter.
Yeah.
Okay, so we find out at the end that Elizabeth never wanted the girls to know that they were an egg donation.
I get that.
What?
I don't agree with it. I get it.
Why?
Because Elizabeth is really insecure.
Obviously.
And like I said, I don't agree with it. I definitely think they should know, but it's not like she's super secure and she's worried about, she wants to be a good mom and she's worried that she's not good enough. And of course she's going to feel that they're going to feel that more if they know that she's not their blood.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she's so concerned with being their mother and being that perfect mother that by telling them, it would give them, I think it would make her fear that they would see her as less of a mother to them.
And she'd be less perfect.
When she absolutely is, to me, like 100% their mother.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, she is. Egg donation, whatever. I don't care.
She grew them and she, nourished
Yeah.
them. They wouldn't be what they are if she hadn't had them in her
Lori's
uterus.
just a sketchy lady.
Yeah.
You guys are full of so much hatred.
I mean, a woman who changes wigs like every couple of days. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait till
come
Kylie's here to
on.
talk to you about those wigs.
Wait, you don't think that she's wrong?
I'm super conflicted because let's say that Elizabeth never had these children, right? They're still a product of Lori's egg and David's sperm. And if Lori grew them
Then they would be Lori's.
But they would be the exact same people.
No,
right?
that's true.
So,
that is true.
But my problem is, because I truly believe that whoever raised you is the person, right?
I do too.
Except I don't know what to believe anymore with Carter.
I know, it's tough with Carter.
Because Carter was raised by her biological mother. And I'm going to get so much hatred.
But it's so weird, though, because it's her biological mother, but it's not like her birth mother. Like, you know what I mean? It's so...
So it's her genetic mother, but it's not the mother that actually gave birth to her and, like, grew her. Yeah, that's really too complicated for me to think about.
And that's... I'm conflicted.
It's so much.
I'm very conflicted. And Taylor is also conflicted, right? Like, she says to her mom, like, you'll always be my mom, and you're the only mom I know, and blah, blah, blah. Except for that she's acting like a total D. Like,
I know, she's acting weird about it.
Right, so
like, more so than I think
Well, if I found out that my mom wasn't my real mom, I would be a little upset, yeah.
Well, but she is your real mom.
No, I know, and I would never think that she isn't, but... your whole kind of worldview, she thought this whole time that Elizabeth gave birth to her. She came from Elizabeth, her DNA, her everything, and now you kind of that's like a what do you call that? A bomb. I don't know.
Sure. I feel like if my mother were to tell me that I was someone else's egg, and that other person was in our lives somehow, I would thank that person and then tell them to move on with it because they've given what they gave.
Exactly.
And you're not
and that,
part of
like,
us.
yeah, their
I'm
part
really
is done.
afraid, though, that Taylor is going to feel... Because she already kind of feels like the odd one out with, you know, Carter always having been the one that they were so worried about and then coming back in and her still being...
And now she got to be raised by their biological
Exactly, and
mom.
now she got to be raised by their biological mom. I feel like she's going to feel gypped and resentment towards Elizabeth, and, like, she may be the one to try to go spend time with Lori.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I think that she's going to be resentful of Carter because Carter kind of brought Lori back into their life. Not actually brought her in, but because Lori took just Carter, it's now Carter's fault that Lori is there.
True.
And I feel like also Taylor's insecure too, so she's going to feel more insecure about the fact that Lori wanted Carter and she could have taken Taylor, but she wanted Carter.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, she even says, I could have taken you both.
It's so messed up.
Yeah, Lori is crazy.
But my other question is why don't they look alike? Because David's not blonde. Taylor looks just like Elizabeth.
Yeah, that is an excellent question.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, maybe later down the road they get DNA tests.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, actually, yeah, we implanted all these embryos, but it just so happened that two of them caught on at the same time, and one was Elizabeth's and one was
Which is something that I
Lori's.
definitely considered, especially because when Lori explains, you know, what her profile was, she's an only child, and twins are hereditary.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
So where did the twin thing come from?
Well, they would have been fraternal twins, obviously.
Right.
But so fraternal twins aren't hereditary. Right?
They're not? I thought it was just
all
twins in general.
Yeah.
What is it? Do you know?
Google that.
If they're what?
Fraternal twins.
Are they
That's
hereditary?
Yeah.
Because
Twins
identical is when there's
Look
one
it up.
egg.
Look
Right,
it
no,
up.
and they pull apart.
You know what we need?
Fraternal is two eggs.
We must consult our engineer over here.
I'm sorry. We need the Garsos in here immediately. Go get them from.
They will be
Modern
here for the
Family.
next show. But okay. Twins are two offspring produced by the same pregnancy.
Thank you.
What?
All right, Bill. Keep reading. Let us know when you get to the hereditary part.
Well, here we go. Twins can either be identical, meaning that they can develop from one zygote that will then split and form two embryos.
Yeah.
Right.
Or fraternal, meaning they can develop from two different eggs.
Right.
Oh.
Are fertilized
So then-
by separate cells.
There you go.
But I think that is that not just a thing that happens in families that happens?
Well, that's something that happens when you have in vitro fertilization. So when you're pumping eggs, because you know they put lots in there.
Yeah, I'm
Y'all,
aware.
we're getting
Yeah.
way too biological and scientific. The minute you started saying, like, embryo and pumping, I was like, whoa, okay, now we're about to go over my head, and Hannah's just going to have to
If we're having this
excuse
conversation,
herself.
we're having this conversation. Keep going.
So I mean,
Sit tight.
I feel like I know a lot about this, and I don't know why.
Why? Yeah, that was my next question. Okay.
I've never had a child before, so I have no idea. But I'm not twin. But yeah,
where's the Garsos when we need them?
Identical twins too. So that could have been Lori's egg,
Okay,
and then
I see
the
what
other
you're
one.
saying.
I mean,
Yes.
if Elizabeth and David are sleeping together, then that could have.
What? Married couples sleep
This is killing me right now. I don't know why listening to Kristin explain this is really cracking me
Wow,
up so
guys,
much.
fascinating, good stuff. I mean, all of it is possible, and we will find out.
I hope
more.
it's that. That's super cool.
I actually do too. That would be a cool twist.
But
Yeah.
then they're
Not they're half
They're
siblings.
half siblings.
They're half twins. Half twins.
that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like
There was
this.
That is
that was
interesting.
a side note, but
I don't like where this is going.
maybe she
I
has
don't
two
know.
uteruses. It's possible.
So much to
That's
think
true.
about.
That's true, but I feel like that is something that
They
she
would
would
have
Doctors
known.
would have known.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the doctors would have told her.
Well, maybe she wants to take that secret to her grave too.
I feel like that is anyway. Well, okay. So I think we've covered this episode. Let's talk a little bit about Grant for a second because
I love him.
within the 24 hours that we've seen him, Grant has hit puberty.
Yeah, he grew
really-
he grew a foot. His voice lowered.
Yeah,
He's still adorable.
he's still the best. I
Absolutely.
love so multiple times in this episode. It was stated that they let Carter get kidnapped. That was the words that were used multiple times. So when she got kidnapped the second time. The second time she'd been kidnapped, or the third?
Yeah, the second. The second.
He said they let her get kidnapped, and then they talked about when David was there in the house, and he let her get taken the first time.
Oh yeah, can we talk about one thing? The flashbacks that they were having.
Yeah.
Oh.
That
Okay.
was weird.
You mean of her getting taken the
Yeah.
first time?
I mean, they were the same. It was the same one twice. To be fair.
The girl?
With the ball?
Yeah, the girls with the ball. It was the same flashback, just twice, coming from different people.
Oh, yeah.
But it
I
was
liked
the exact
those.
same thing.
right.
But it was weird.
So
And
we saw the flashback
Yeah.
from Carter.
why was Taylor Burnett in the flashback?
Maybe she was a brunette.
She,
as
like-
well.
I actually wondered the same thing. I'm like, usually it's the opposite.
it's
They
usually,
start
like,
out blonde
blonde
and then
brunette. Like
yeah.
I've never heard of
Clearly, I
anyone.
know these things.
I've never heard of anyone being a brunette and then just like magically becoming a blonde.
no, me neither.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, if we're going to talk about Taylor's hair, let's talk about how she styled it real nice.
It was
and
real.
wearing
Yes.
makeup,
I
Much
know.
better.
which, like last season, she was.
She's up in her game this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's been over the course of 24 hours.
I know.
I know.
She learned how to do her hair.
She was
and
like, "We
makeup.
broke up, so I better get
Figure
back
this
on
out."
it.
Yeah.
Get him back."
She did.
Oh, man.
She was working it. Well, she got him.
Well, here's my question about the flashbacks, right? We see it from Carter's perspective, then we see it from Taylor's perspective.
Right.
Do either of them remember it? Because when Carter gets found, right, in the way beginning of the show, she, in the beginning, like the
But
first
yeah, I
episode,
thought that
she
was
was like,
weird.
I don't know
I
who
think
you
it's
are.
things that triggered the memory.
Yeah.
Like, not that she walked around remembering that every day, but almost like the first time. What, are you laughing about me? Like,
Yes.
my hand gestures?
No,
well, don't
I'm
look
just
at it. I have,
laughing.
like, cake and icing on my hands. Don't ask.
Okay.
But anyways.
going.
Like, when, on the very first episode, when she saw Pop again, and she
Right.
never remembered having him until she hugged him, and then it
Right.
triggered that memory,
Okay.
that feeling
Okay.
that he existed. I think it was one of those sort of things again.
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
Taylor always remembered.
It's like being kidnapped reminded her of the first time it happened.
Oh, okay. I could see that. I could totally
Yeah,
see
she's
that.
like, I felt this before.
Wait a
repressed
second.
memories.
Yeah. But Taylor remembered, and Taylor
Yes.
feels all this guilt when she explains that she felt guilty because she didn't chase after. I was like, you were 3.
Yeah.
She's
I don't
like,
think you could have made it
she
past
didn't even
the
know what was
line.
happening.
Yeah.
No, and if she did, she'd be taken too.
Yeah.
I feel like she would fall before she made
Yeah.
it.
Well, and I don't understand why Lori didn't go back to get Taylor sooner. If she had full intentions of getting
Yeah.
Taylor one day, why didn't she go back and get her sooner?
Well, I'm sure that right after the fact, they were pretty strict on the security.
Unless David knew that
Right.
she was taking one of the children.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
Boom. All right. Let's get into real predictions because I have a prediction.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
That's nice.
predictions.
It
Okay.
always makes me feel like a genie, like
I
needs to
know.
come out of a little bottle in the middle, and it's like predictions.
Can we do that one time?
No.
Hologram?
No. All right.
Phil, set that up.
when the FBI guy says to Elizabeth at the end that they could use more moms, or they should hire more moms.
I was like, no, you shouldn't.
Yeah, seriously. But I think she's going to get a job offer.
Yeah.
More importantly, I think she's going to have an affair with the hot FBI guy.
I'm surprised he said that, because if anything, the situation, if anything, the situation would prove that you shouldn't hire more moms.
Yeah. But no, did you not watch this season on Finding Carter?
Yeah, and
they break up.
But like that, wouldn't that be a lot? That's a really messy office right there.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's from the FBI. It's a different office.
Different.
Also, I like the idea of her having a love triangle with the FBI guy and Kyle, mostly because that's really hot in my head.
But there would still be David in the situation, so that would be like a school. What would we call that?
Well, and then there's Lori, so there's 5 of those. I don't know what you call them. 5 points.
A rhombus.
No.
Is that a rhombus? Rhombus has 5? No.
I didn't even know.
What's a rhombus?
I didn't even know that was a shape.
What? Don't you remember in the OC when there was like 5 of them and they were like, we are in a rhombus? Nobody remembers this? Okay. Well, I'm dying. That's what I thought it was. Phil, look up how many points is in a rhombus.
Pentagon has 5.
Pentagon.
Okay, well, what's a rhombus? I still would like to know what a rhombus is.
Rhombus is a square that's tilted.
Okay, so then that's what the
Like
4
a
would be. It would
parallelogram?
not be a square, it would be a rhombus.
Okay.
Why would they even say
A rhombus
that?
sounds better than a square.
No, okay.
A rhombus love affair.
Whatever.
I like it. I'm sold.
Whatever. I just like the idea of Elizabeth having affairs. More importantly,
Yael encourages Elizabeth's affairs.
With guys like the FBI guy and Kyle.
I don't know. Kyle's sexy. I'm not
I
a
still
FBI
want David
guy.
and Elizabeth to work it out, which I know they're not going to.
Why?
I just always have. I just do.
He was very sweet, but I feel like it was like
want it for
this
Carter.
episode. He was sweet, but he was fake sweet.
He's always fake sweet.
Yeah.
He's so manipulative.
Yeah, he was annoying. He was like, "You're the only mother that they know. Let me put my hand on your face."
He says, "You're
and
the
kiss
only
you
mother
now."
that Taylor's ever had. You're the only mother that Carter wants."
And then let me
Surrender,
like, okay. Yes.
That was cute.
Don't ever do it again. Okay, guys. There's so much, but we're still full of questions.
I know.
We would love to hear all of your thoughts. Please make sure that you tweet them at us. Hannah, why don't you tell the people where they can tweet their thoughts to you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @thehotshotdude. And I really want to know if Elizabeth's Band-Aid is going to make an appearance in the next episode.
No, she took it off by the end of the episode.
You guys
50
can find
Cent over
me
there.
on Twitter at Kristin Strange and on Instagram at Kristin Aubrey Strange.
Awesome. And if you want to keep up with me, I'm online at Yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. Also, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, other places at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And we will see you next week right here, Wednesday, 7 p.m. for more Finding Carter.
Talking about Crash.
Hashtag ABTV Finding Carter.
That's the one.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.